If you're a SaaS product for the pet industry, wouldn't you want your audience to find blog posts, helpful tips, or social media posts that showcase your connection to the pet community? Imagine the opportunities you could create by being a go-to resource in your niche. Welcome to Pet Care SaaS Connect, the podcast for SaaS companies in the pet space. I'm your host, Cherrie Ann Balictar, and in today's episode, we will talk about consistency in content marketing. Why is it so hard to be consistent? The consistency crisis. You know that feeling? You start off strong, full of ideas and motivation, but somewhere along the way, the momentum slips. Or maybe you're putting in the hours but not seeing the results you hoped for. Sounds familiar? If so, you're in the right place. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear mindset to keep your content consistent and purposeful no matter how busy things get. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's jump into it. Here's the thing. Sometimes, when consistency is hard, it's a sign that things aren't going well beneath the surface. And when the foundation is shaky, that struggle with consistency snowballs into a bunch of other challenges. Let's break down exactly what that looks like and what we can do to fix it. Problem number 1. Content creation isn't a priority and it shows. Alright, here's the thing. When it's tough to stay consistent, it's usually because other priorities keep getting in the way. I know this firsthand. As a service provider, creating content for my personal brand sometimes falls by the wayside whenever we're all hands on deck with client work. Of course, client work always comes first, so when things get busy, I'll stop everything personal brand related to focus on where I'm needed most. Even though I know how important personal branding is, I still struggle to keep up when my plate is full. This same challenge happens within some companies. In many cases, content creation is competing with other tasks like product development, sales, and customer service. Without a dedicated space on the agenda, content marketing easily slips through the cracks. The sad reality is that when marketing isn't prioritized, marketing teams are often the first to get cut. I see this all the time on LinkedIn. Someone will post that they were let go because their company decided to cut down on marketing costs, no matter how skilled or dedicated they were. Imagine this. It's a busy day at your SaaS company. The sales team is asking for help with an upcoming promotion, and the product team needs to get the word out about a new feature. Creating content, like blog posts or social media posts, suddenly feels like it can wait. So you skip a week, then another, and before long, that well-planned content calendar is out the window. Solution? Build a dedicated content routine with your marketing team or content marketing agency. If balancing content with other priorities has been challenging, a great solution is to partner with an agency that caters to SaaS companies in the pet care industry, especially if you don't have an in-house team yet. Working with a specialized agency like ours, Pet Content Solutions, can take the pressure off and handle everything from planning and strategy to implementation. Previously, we focused exclusively on content writing, offering long-form content like blog posts to support SEO efforts. But if you've been following the SEO industry, you know how recent Google algorithm updates have shaken things up for businesses big and small. That's why we've expanded our services to help companies diversify their traffic sources instead of relying solely on Google. We now offer 2 simplified packages, each designed to cover essential aspects of content marketing and help you reach new audiences and survive future algorithm changes. Once you sign up, you'll be assigned a dedicated content manager who handles everything, making it a seamless, hands-off approach to marketing. If you're ready to take control of your content strategy and see real results, don't miss out on this opportunity. To secure your spot today, please visit our website www.petcontentsolutions.com or book a free 30-minute clarity call today. Link in the description. Meanwhile, if you already have a marketing team, creating a weekly routine can also help keep content rolling consistently. Here's an approach you can try. Today's Black Friday, and you realize that with all the last minute promotions and holiday campaigns for 2024, your team hasn't prepared any content for January 2025 yet. Now is the perfect time to set up a content marketing routine in December to ensure January's content is created and scheduled so everyone can enjoy the holiday break without stress. Week 1. Start with research and planning. Lock in your content themes, topics, and any upcoming promotions like New Year's offers or January sales. Check the calendar for observances like National Train Your Dog Month to spark creative ideas. By the end of this week, you'll have topics, promotions, and content themes finalized. Week 2. Focus on writing content. Draft blog posts, social media copy, and email content. Once drafts are ready, schedule time for editing and polishing so everything's prepped for visuals. By week's end, your written content should be ready to go. Week 3. Now, focus on visuals and scheduling. Design graphics, create videos, and prepare each piece for publishing. Upload and schedule everything so that by the time the holidays come around, you're all set for January. Remember, consistency doesn't mean you need to create every day so you can post every day. By batching content ahead of time, you can keep a steady flow of posts going out regularly without feeling the daily pressure. And don't feel guilty about stepping back to plan. It may feel like you're losing time, but preparation is key to staying consistent. Think of it like prepping for your dog's birthday. You don't wait until the big day to buy decor, gifts, and treats, right? Instead, you want to have everything ready days before, so when the big day comes, all you have to do is celebrate and make memories with your fur baby. It's the same with content marketing. Planning ahead lets you enjoy the process more and put out quality work without the rush. This way, you're able to focus on quality over quantity, making sure each piece is polished and ready to connect with your audience without the last-minute scramble. And hey, even Christmas movies are filmed in June. Now we know why they use all that fake snow. Problem number 2. Trying to do it all and micromanaging along the way. Let's talk about micromanaging in content marketing because honestly, it's one of the biggest consistency killers. I see this all the time. Companies looking to hire a quote-unquote digital marketing expert. They'll post a job listing that sounds more like a wish list, expecting one person to handle everything: social media, blog posts, email campaigns, community building, and even customer service. And here's the thing, most don't realize just how much goes into each of these tasks. This setup almost always leads to burnout and frustration on all sides. The person in the role is juggling way too much, and when results aren't instant, it quickly turns into a blame game. The company might start thinking they hired the wrong person, while the marketer feels like they're drowning in unrealistic expectations. It's a lose-lose that ends up hurting the consistency and quality of the content. Eventually, the company may decide that content marketing just isn't worth the investment. They get discouraged thinking, why bother? But down the line, they're likely to try again, starting from zero with the same challenges waiting to pop up all over again. It's a cycle that can be avoided with a more focused, realistic approach. Solution: focus on one strategy and expand over time. So what's the fix? Start by simplifying. Choose one strategy that aligns with your current assets and stick to it. Let's say you already have a decent amount of email subscribers, and you decided that email marketing is a good starting point for your marketing efforts next year. So, you hire an email marketing expert, someone who can write solid email content that can turn email subscribers to paying customers. This person can send out updates on new blog posts, share holiday promotions, coupon codes, or payday discounts, and even ask subscribers for feedback on the kinds of content they'd love to see more of. You can also ask this person to do cold emails to reach customers who might benefit from your SaaS product. And once you see results, consider expanding your team in small, manageable steps. For example, you could bring in someone to repurpose those emails into blog posts, giving your website fresh content without reinventing the wheel. Not to mention, good for on-page SEO. It's all about taking it one step at a time, building on what's already working, and not overwhelming yourself or your team with too much at once. This way, you can keep momentum, see real progress, and avoid the burnout that comes from trying to do it all. Remember, by focusing on just one thing at a time, you're creating a pace that's easier to keep up with and actually helps you grow. When you add new steps one by one, you're building on what already works instead of trying to do too much and stretching yourself too thin. Honestly, SEO specialists are really good at this, and this is why I enjoy working with them. Imagine writing a blog, hitting publish, submitting the page to Google for indexing, and then waiting for organic traffic to roll in. I mean, it's magic. But SEO is changing, and from experience, it's no longer that simple. We'll dive more into that in future episodes. Meanwhile, let's proceed to problem number 3. Problem number 3. Difficulty in showing value to a non-technical audience. One habit I've noticed with SaaS companies in the pet care space is they tend to fill their websites and social media with technical jargon, terms that pet owners and other pet businesses can't understand. Don't get me wrong, we love the enthusiasm and how passionate SaaS companies are about their innovations. We're all for it. But if the language doesn't click with pet owners and pet care professionals, it can create a disconnect. The reality is, these terms sound Greek to most people, even for me. Besides, we're not reading tech magazines. We're usually on Instagram or TikTok scrolling through cute dog videos and laughing at funny cat memes. When pet owners see complex terms, it's tough for them to connect the dots and see how the SaaS product could make their day-to-day lives easier. Imagine a dog walker found your SaaS website and read phrases like Integrated Client Management System with Automated Workflows, or API-driven invoicing with multi-platform compatibility. I can already hear this person say, "What's API?" But if that same website or social media post says, easily schedule walks, send automatic reminders, and get paid online all in one place. See the difference? In a few words, your SaaS product immediately feels relevant and useful, as if their business can't survive without it. Solution: use simple language with real-life examples. For SaaS companies, simplifying language, using real-life examples and familiar terms can make a world of difference. When pet owners can see exactly how the product fits into their routine, they're much more likely to engage, sign up, and actually use it. Instead of focusing on technical features, highlight how those features work in everyday scenarios that pet owners will relate to. This way, the product feels like something they can actually use and not just another piece of tech. Remember, before you start planning for next year's content, take a moment to reflect. How can I make my audience understand the value of my SaaS product? What do I need to say to make it clear and relatable to them? If the answer isn't obvious, try swapping out technical terms for everyday language. By keeping it simple and speaking directly to their needs, you're making it easier for them to see the real benefits of your product and helping them picture it as a valuable part of their business. Problem number 4, the comparison trap. A while back, I spoke with a startup SaaS company that was planning its content marketing efforts in January. We started by discussing whether they had the basics in place: branding, a clear vision and mission, measurable goals, and competitor analysis. When we got to the part about competitors, they pointed to another SaaS company that they considered their main rival. This competitor had been publishing content for years: blogs, social media, emails, you name it, and they were doing it really well. Their community was huge, and their engagement was through the roof. I could tell this client was feeling discouraged. They said something like, "We're doing everything we're supposed to, posting regularly, following best practices, but it still feels like we're falling behind." Here's what I told them: it's not a fair competition. Yes, your product might be similar, but in terms of digital footprint, you're comparing apples to oranges. This competitor has had years to refine their strategy, grow their audience, and build trust, not to mention deep pockets. Therefore, you can't expect to match their results overnight, no matter how much effort you put into your content. When I said this, it was like a weight lifted off their shoulders. They realized they'd been holding themselves to an impossible standard, and that was making it hard to see the progress that they were actually making. The solution? Focus on your own progress. When it comes to content marketing, the key is to focus on your own journey rather than comparing yourself to others. Here's how. Number 1, set clear, achievable goals. If you're a SaaS startup without much data about your target audience yet, start with task-based goals. For instance, your goal would be to publish 2 blog posts per week, gain your first 1,000 IG followers, or grow your email list by 10%. These action-oriented goals give you a tangible roadmap to follow and help you build momentum as you gather audience insights over time. As you collect more data, you can transition to audience-driven goals like views, engagement, website traffic, and of course, conversions. Number 2, understand the bigger picture. Remember that content marketing is a long game. Your competitors didn't build their digital footprint overnight. Every piece of content you create, every blog post, every email, or every social media update is a building block for your future success. Number 3, learn from competitors without comparing. Competitors can be a great source of inspiration, but instead of trying to mimic them, analyze what's working for them and adapt those ideas to your unique brand voice and goals. For instance, if you notice their audience responds well to video content, consider experimenting with videos yourself. Just make sure that they highlight your strengths. Number 4, shift your mindset. Finally, remind yourself and your team that comparison isn't the measure of success, progress is. Focus on providing value to your audience and trust that consistency will pay off in time. Remember, looking at what your competitors are doing isn't inherently bad. It's how you use that information that matters. Use it as inspiration or to understand industry trends, but don't let it dictate your journey. Every company's path is different, shaped by unique starting points, audiences, and goals. The important thing is to stay consistent and committed to your vision. Problem number 5, tools that drive or destroy productivity. One of the most overlooked challenges in content marketing is having and effectively using the right tools. Without a reliable system, even the best strategy can fall apart. I've seen this happen a lot. Teams struggle to keep track of tasks, share files efficiently, or even come up with content ideas. Things get lost in email chains, collaboration becomes clunky, and projects start to feel overwhelming. Having the right tools isn't just about making things easier, it's about creating a streamlined process that keeps your team productive and on track. Imagine trying to execute a full-scale content strategy without clear task management or effective communication channels. It's no surprise that, without the right tools, consistency and quality take a hit. For example, I've worked on projects where there were too many apps doing similar things, creating confusion instead of clarity. Or on the flip side, teams relied on just 1 or 2 tools which couldn't meet all their needs. Both scenarios lead to wasted time, miscommunication, and frustration. The solution? Build a tool stack that works for you. The solution here is to focus on creating a tool stack that matches your team's needs and workflow. Here's a glimpse into the tools I use and recommend. Number 1, Todoist for task management. I love Todoist because it helps me stay present without losing sight of future deadlines. It's essentially a checklist app, but it's so much more than that. Todoist tells me exactly what I need to focus on for the day, making it easy to prioritize and stay organized. I've tried so many different task management tools over the years, but I always find myself coming back to Todoist. It just works. Number 2, Google Drive for file sharing. When it comes to collaborating on documents, spreadsheets, and presentations, Google Drive is a lifesaver. It's cloud-based, so everything is accessible in one place, and it allows real-time collaboration, which is especially helpful for editing blog drafts or visual assets. Number 3, Slack for direct communication. Immediate and direct communication is key to keeping things moving. Slack helps cut down on long email threads and lets you create dedicated channels for specific projects or topics. Number 4, Keysearch for SEO research. SEO is non-negotiable in content marketing. I use Keysearch to identify the right keywords, evaluate competition, and find content ideas that align with what people are searching for. Number 5, Canva Pro. Visuals are just as important as written content, and Canva Pro is my go-to tool for creating everything from social media graphics to editing videos and even presentations. Number 6, ChatGPT for idea generation and content drafting. Finally, ChatGPT is invaluable for brainstorming ideas, generating outlines, and even drafting content. It helps overcome writer's block and saves time when you need to create a lot of material quickly. Remember, the tools you use should serve your workflow, not complicate it. Start with the basics and build your stack gradually. It's better to use a few tools really well than to get bogged down trying to juggle too many. To wrap up this podcast episode, here are a few key takeaways. Consistency in content marketing is often easier said than done, especially when challenges arise. But with the right strategies, mindset, and tools, building a steady content flow that speaks with your audience and drives long-term results is absolutely achievable. And the best time to start is today. After all, if you're a SaaS product for the pet industry, wouldn't you want your audience to find blog posts, helpful tips, or social media posts that showcase your connection to the pet community? Imagine the opportunities you could create by being a go-to resource in your niche. If you're ready to take your SaaS company's content marketing to the next level, but could use expert guidance, we'd love to partner with you. At Pet Content Solutions, we specialize in content marketing services for SaaS companies in the pet care industry. Right now, we're opening just 5 slots for new clients, and as a Thanksgiving special, you'll save $200 per month if you sign up today. To learn more, visit our website at www.petcontentsolutions.com or book a free 30-minute clarity call using the link in the description. Don't forget to tune in to our next episode where we'll dive into SEO content marketing planning. We'll break down 4 essential areas: budget, timeline, tools, and team that you need to focus on to create a solid SEO content strategy that aligns with your business goals. I'm your host, Cherrie Ann Balictar, and thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next episode. Bye!